Live from Valuetainment, it's the Mouthpiece with Brady Matthews.
Yeah, baby. Yes, sirree. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? I'm your host, Brady Matthews. This is the Mouthpiece. Fantastic show for you guys. We have lots to cover. It was a fun weekend of all kinds of crazy stuff happening in terms of Volkanovski losing to Caitlin Clark, coming out winning the women's all-time scoring title, which was pretty cool, to MLB taking a diversity hit with new players coming in, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you look at it, and we'll talk about it. But way more to get to. We also have a special guest coming in as well, which we're very excited about. But with that said, let me introduce my fantastic panel. To the left of me, he's our all-pro here at Valuetainment. Give it for Chris Manno, everybody.
What's up, guys? Excited to be here. Like you said it, man. The weekend. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
We love you.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, careful. They're all just screaming for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
To go along with the page and everything. I'm getting a lot of love.
They saw your thumbnails on YouTube and how many hits you're getting. Yeah, dude.
But yeah, awesome weekend in sports. I've been excited to do this the last 2 days. Let's roll. Let's do it.
Ray, next to Chris. Sorry, Ray, I'm all over the place.
I'm Ray, sure.
Ray's fantastic. Ray had a great weekend too. He won a lot of money betting on UFC. We'll get to that, but guys, get it for Ray Sherwood. Everyone.
Thank you. The chest hair's back, baby.
Looking good. And next to him behind the computer, he's our all-star here. He really is. He puts all our clips together. He keeps the show on the straight and narrow. Guys, go for the one, the only Malik Hudson, everybody.
Let's go, Malik.
How you feeling, Malik?
I feel great. I missed all the weekend's festivities though, because it was past my bedtime, so
what?
I couldn't stay up long enough to watch it.
You couldn't stay awake for that awesome all-star game?
Oh no, not at all.
That game was trash, by the way.
Turned it on for 5 seconds and I turned it right off.
Wasn't it? It was so bad. Like I fell asleep.
It was just everyone non-contested 3-pointers and half-court shots.
It
right?
was so stupid. I was like, what is the point of
it.
even having this show anymore, or having this game anymore? What is the point?
Or show. Just
Yeah,
get it off.
I was on a plane with
Yeah.
very minimal channels, so it forced me to ingest that. Ugh, it was terrible, man.
It's
Diarrhea
so,
by
it's so,
the end of it.
It's so bad that I have nothing against the WNBA at all. But I'd rather watch the WNBA. Just going to be dead honest with you.
Well, it's an actual game at
catching
that
strays.
point.
Yeah.
Right now, the WNBA is always catching strays. They did nothing. Shrapnel
Honestly,
always.
It was a positive stray at that one.
For sure. But I mean, what
It's
could
a
you?
backhanded stray.
Yeah,
But dead honest with you, I saw these guys just chucking up threes from half court. That's where we're at. My nephew does that.
Well, here's the deal. So Dame Lillard made 2 of them, which is pretty sick to see.
Right.
But a team put up 200 points. 200 points. What are we doing?
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, and then you look back to the 2020 All-Star Game, which is probably the last one I think everybody thought was cool, where the players tried, and it was led by the best players in the world, and it was sick.
Yeah, it was LeBron
sick.
and it was
Kobe.
it was Kobe too. But I
Yeah.
mean, they were all going at each other.
For a quarter, you saw the best players in the world playing the best players in the world, going at each other's throats. It was sick.
It
Yeah,
almost
it was so
reminds
much
me
fun.
of the NFL All-Star Game. Very similar, where it's non-contested anymore. It's just having fun. Everyone just joking around, laughing. There's no seriousness. But which is what we'll touch upon later on. I got a little clip of that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know what, though? In the NFL, though, if you play, I think it makes more sense because these guys could still get hurt if you're still hitting each other. That's why they take it down a notch in the NFL All-Star Game now.
Right.
These guys are so valuable. You don't want to see a guy going down for next year because he hurts
Yeah, but
himself.
but also if you're really that worried about getting hurt in the All-Star Game, and you're going to only play at 70%,
We're
then
talking
just
basketball or football right now.
I'm talking basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, what is the point of even being in the game then? Then just don't play.
Yeah,
Just
I don't think
play.
these guys are playing way under their capabilities because they're worried about being hurt in basketball. I was likening it to football. That's why they take it down. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Anthony Edwards made a statement yesterday about we don't come out here to compete. And I was like, come on, guys, what are we doing? These guys, they make their money now. They get to tell people they're in the league. They play 70% of games and they get their accolades. You look at these old school players who took this stuff serious, and they were saying something about building their brands in the league now. And I say it's no coincidence that the guys who have the 2 biggest brands right now are arguably Mike and Kobe, and they're guys who just did it the right way.
Yeah.
Just play hard every game, show up, work hard.
I think people really tuned in. I think people tuned into the All-Star game because they wanted to see Jordan back in the day. They wanted to see Shaq, but also these guys played at 100%. And I think like you said, the last game that they really played really hard for the All-Star game was in 2020.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nowadays, everyone's got their money. Everyone also, do we want to have the All-Star game in Indiana? Do we really? Indiana? We couldn't think of, I mean, Malik, Indiana? What do you do in Indiana? It looks super cold.
Cleveland is better.
Yeah.
Right. Even Salt Lake City.
Don't say that to
Salt Lake
Malik,
City
dude.
was the worst one, though. That was last year. As
What
far
was?
as like all-star festivities, like, because a lot of stuff happens off the court, outside the arena. You have all these all-star parties, these like charity events, all this stuff. So
Yeah.
like for somewhere in Indiana around this time of year isn't like the best time of year for fun. Like if you're in that region of the country,
No.
the best time of year is in the summer.
No, the best time is for that stuff is to stay inside. That's always a good time because it just looks cold and miserable in Indiana. Ray, you had a good time over the weekend, though, right? You said you won some money with UFC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Had a great weekend. I mean,
You look tired still from it. I love that I go, you had a good weekend, right? And you go, yeah.
yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
I'm more sad about Volkanovski losing. I know we'll
That's your guy.
I know, man. I love Volk. He's an OG in the sport. I believe it's just sad to see somebody who was so high on the sport in terms of just he was number one pound for pound rank. Not just in featherweight, not just a featherweight champion, but he was number one in the pound for pound rankings. And just to see his downfall, I want to say downfall, but I know he'll be back. He's a competitor and he's still great. But that it was a great lead up to the whole card, and then all of a sudden my heart dropped at the end after watching him get knocked out by Ilia Topuria. No discredit to Topuria, put on a phenomenal performance, and like we talked about on our last show, his boxing is phenomenal, crisp, and you can see he caught him perfectly, backed him up.
I was going to say Topuria looked like he could fight another fight after that. And
Yeah.
he looked like he was ready to go. I mean, and listen, Volkanovski is no joke, but like he literally looked way younger.
Yeah, he is way young. He's only 27 years old too. So now you're starting to see a new wave of generation of fighters coming up, and it's sad to see those guys that we're all used to. At the top, you have Israel, we had Usman, we had Volk, and now there's a stat where they all became champion in 2019 and defended their title, and they all lost their titles last year, and now Volk with this year.
Well,
and it's sad to see that.
I mean, we're going to get to that because we have a lot more UFC to break down. But with that said, we have our special guest, actually, that is waiting in the waiting room for us. Let me just tee it up for you. This kid, he looks like the second coming of Christian McCaffrey in a way, right? You would think, Manno. I mean, this kid, we looked up his first team all CAA, CAA. He ran a 4.440 as a senior. In 12 games, he had an outstanding 1,205 yards on 245 carries for an average of 4.9 yards per game with 15 touchdowns. That's no slouch, and it's actually an amazing stat. I'm excited to bring him in. He's New Hampshire's very own. He's making his Mouthpiece debut, and we're excited to have him on the show. Guys, make it very nice, warm welcome for Dylan Laube, everybody.
Let's go, Dylan.
Yeah,
Let's go,
look
Dylan.
Look at that handsome
up,
guy.
That's a big smile
Look
you
at
got
that
there,
handsome
man.
guy.
Jeez.
Thanks for joining us, Dylan. How are you?
I love the introduction, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. Hey, listen, we're excited to have you. Do people really? I mean, I'm sure you hear all the time. People think that you're kind of like the Christian McCaffrey in a way in this draft, correct?
Yeah. I mean,
Are you sick and tired of hearing that, or what?
That's kind of my thoughts. Yeah. That's a little comparison right there.
Yeah. So right now, Manno, you
I'm
found
jacked up about this one, man.
But
I'm
tell
jacked
people how
up
you
about it.
found. Tell people how you found Laube.
Well, here's the deal. So, dude, first of all, congratulations, man. What you're doing is incredible.
Thank you.
To kind of get shine like this from a small school, somebody like me understands completely what you're going through. Dude, we admire you over here. We're excited to see what you do. Now, to the important stuff. This one hits home for me. Now, Dylan is a Long Island kid like myself.
Right.
Dylan is similar to me in build, similar to me in position, similar to me in melanin count.
And
And Dylan is a far better football player.
He's
than me.
never seen a tan.
Dylan,
No,
here's the deal.
neither
He's a far better football player than me, though, so I'm super excited to watch him do this.
Right.
Appreciate that.
Oh, dude, no. So coming from Long Island, we're starting to come up. We had Jeremy Ruckert last year, and I'm super excited to have Dylan and follow his story now. So, yeah, man, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Seriously, man. It means a lot.
Of course.
What's the hardest thing going into? What's the hardest thing in terms of going into the NFL draft? In terms of give us our breakdown. Are you getting hit on all angles in terms of I mean, obviously you have to keep it clean in terms of your workouts and stuff like that. Are you working out every day? Are you pretty stern in terms of diet? Like, give us a little bit of your breakdown before the NFL draft, which is obviously April 25th. Yeah. But for the people at home.
So my season ended end of November. So once again, as soon as my season ended, I was up here. I mean, down here in Florida in Fort Myers, and it's been between either working out twice a day from Monday through Friday, from position work to skill work, from all the combine workouts. We got PT, we got massages, we got recovery stuff, we got film work. Really, it's a hell of a day.
What are some? I mean, you obviously have Manno, and you guys, by the way, sound the same too, which is really hilarious.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
you guys sound the exact same guy.
That means polish up, dude. That means polish up your media work.
Who are some pros? Who are some pros that you looked up to? That have helped you, or on your way in your journey? Are there guys that you can tap into, ex-NFL players and actually current NFL players that are helping you with this whole process?
Yeah, actually, we had a couple NFL stars actually come in. Actually, last week we had Jonathan Taylor actually come in and talk to us. He's actually friends with a couple trainers here. And once again, I mean, he's a stud. So him just kind of speaking to him, especially as like a running back, I mean, just hearing his story and his process in the draft and the combine, this was like super cool to see how he kind of went through like the same thing. And I mean, he's just a stud overall. So it's just kind of just cool to see hearing from him.
Hey, Dylan, take us through something that I've been through. I want to hear your take on it, man. It should be real cool.
Yeah.
So I know this firsthand. Tell me about coming from a small school. So I did my training at IMG Academy. Obviously, same as you. I played at Hofstra, CAA, smaller, Division I school. So you get there the first day, and it's your first time on the field, really, with Power 5 kids. Kids who are supposed to go the first day or two. What are you thinking now? Are you? I know I was thinking, can I play for a small school kid, or can I play? So what's the first couple of days for you like on the field with these guys where you're like, am I a fish out of water here? Like, bring us through that process.
Same thing, yeah. Same exact thing, especially that this kind of preparing for this senior bowl too. Especially training him with guys from Alabama, Auburn, Miami, Michigan. So all the top schools are here. And kind of just seeing, hey, that I can hang with these guys and compete with these guys can just gain so much confidence for me. And it really, I think, helped me the whole week for the Reese's Bowl. It kind of projected me in that way. And like, I'm super comfortable here. I'm used to now playing against these studs from all across the country. So this process, especially training these past 10 weeks, have been so fun and so like crucial in my mental and physical kind of space.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm glad you took me there. You were talking about the Senior Bowl, man.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, you took off like a rocket ship at the Senior Bowl. For those who don't know, Senior Bowl is 5 days of practices in front of scouts from every NFL team. They kind of want to see more than just a game, and Dylan got busy for the week, man. He was like the hot name. He's rising up the draft boards because it's the first time they got to see him really amongst these guys. Dylan, what did you go into Senior Bowl hoping to accomplish? Like, I know what people think about like players like yourself, players like myself. You had to go in there with some sort of goal. Like, this is what they think about me. I want to change this narrative, or I want to show them that I can do this. What was that thing? What were those couple of things that you went in there like, I got to leave this week feeling like they know this?
Yeah. So coming from that small school, I think the biggest thing was like, hey, does he belong? Especially with the speed, my versatility, it's my strength. And they kind of wanted to see, hey, like, is this kid able to play against the best of the best? And so one thing I wanted to show was the biggest thing was my versatility. So I was in the slot, I was playing running back, pass pro. So kind of being able to show all of that was kind of so crucial. And I mean, it was a hell of a week, and it was fun as hell.
Bro, I felt like every day a new clip of you running a wheel route to the house up the seam came out. It was like the Dylan Laube route of the week.
I'll take it, man.
We definitely, I know, dude. We definitely have a clip of it, but it's Dylan running out of the backfield, and every day he's getting behind a big-time linebacker and scoring some kind of deep touchdown. So I think that was awesome, man. I know That's probably what people were asking. Can Dylan get separation? How does he do if we break him out into space with an NFL linebacker? And dude, you answered all those questions. So shout out to you, man. That's a big deal.
Hey Dylan,
Yeah,
question for you.
that, yeah.
Question for you. When you're playing at a smaller school, do you think it's more beneficial than going to a bigger school? Do you think it's more hands-on, or do you think you can get lost in going to a bigger school, and that being not as good for in terms of your journey and where you're trying to get to in the NFL draft?
I say both.
Yeah.
I say both, especially coming from a small school too. I think once again from FCS, I mean, every guy on a team was the best player in high school. So once again, I think it was just the opportunity that they got, and I think especially for me, I only got one scholarship offer, and so it kind of just shows that hey, like if you're good, they will find you. And that just kind of proves it. Yeah.
You didn't get a scholarship. You said you didn't get a scholarship offer. So
You got one.
Oh, you got one scholarship offer.
I got one. Yeah.
And that was New Hampshire.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic. So
that
did
was the
you
only
use that?
one.
Did you use that as fuel, also to be like, I'm going to show these assholes that I'm worthy. You know what I mean? Like, because at some point I know I would,
man.
because you know your worth, right?
Yeah. I mean, so coming from Long Island, the only school around is Stony Brook.
Shout Long Island.
To be honest, yeah. And to be honest, I think they looked at me once, but without even a scholarship offer or anything. And we played every single year, and I made sure I whooped their ass every single year too. So,
Dude, you know what you did an awesome job of though as a small school player is when you were on the field against the big schools, because what people don't know is you get like a game. You get like a game or two a year as a small Division I guy. On the field with the big guys. Like they bring you in, they expect to beat your ass, and then that's that. But you get to be on the same field.
Exactly.
And Dylan crushed it against anytime he got an FBS opponent, he got busy. So they got to see him against these big time players. So that was kind of cool. You answered that question during the season.
Central Michigan was the big one this
Definitely.
year. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking
That
of,
was
right.
the big one, yeah.
So
that one was go on.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, how do you keep mentally sharp in terms of before April 25th? What's your guilty pleasure? Is there anything that you do to keep your mind sharp, but also not be totally focused on football? What are some things that you like to do besides football on your off time?
Like a cliche thing. I mean, the only thing I kind of like doing is playing football. But
That's funny.
Awesome answer.
Yeah.
Gym
Like
rat.
besides that, I play video games. I mean,
Yeah.
I play with my boys back home. I play with my brothers and stuff. So I think that's probably like my guilty pleasure there, because once again, that's kind of my only like my free time. And I'll play that like a couple times a week at night. But besides that, man, I'm locked in right now, man. Especially with the combine coming up next week. So
Dylan, real
crazy.
quick. So when I was at IMG, they kind of likened the whole combine experience to you're working your whole life for what amounts to like a 45-minute job interview. So what they did for us is they brought in like Navy SEAL people to kind of teach us how to lock in for that short time. What is something cool that your facility has done for you that people don't see from the outside? They think we just lunkheads. We lift weights, we run fast, and then that's it. What is something that you've done to kind of mentally prepare yourself, or that they've done for you to kind of better enhance your ability to perform at that combine, man?
Yeah. So we haven't had Navy SEALs here, but we've had a couple psychologists here that come and kind of like preach to us and kind of just tell us these. A couple of years ago here, there was a kid that just when he got to the combine just blanked out.
Who is it?
All this technique, all this stuff just kind of just went out the window. So when so they brought in a couple people, and like once a week they come and just kind of just like talk to us probably for like an hour or two, and just kind of just like tell us how to breathe, how to control your mind, and just kind of stay focused in the present moment. And it's been super helpful.
And that's what they're trying to do to you there. It's 3 days and about 2 hours on the field. Everything else is just mentally trying to break you. They're going to interview you at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, they're going to ask you weird questions. Are they prepping you for some of those weird questions you might get? Like, Dylan Laube, are you a cat person or a dog person? Right?
Hilarious.
They ask crazy stuff like that.
I've heard stories that like they tell you to pick a hat, either like a black hat or like a white hat, and like depending on what hat you pick is like
that's it. It tells them something.
Want you or not.
For
and it's
sure.
like, how does that even correlate? But I don't know, man. If it works for some people.
All right, so the combine, like you said, is coming up. What is something that you hope to go in there and accomplish? Like, what is something that you've been working on that people maybe are like, we don't know if he can pass pro? Like, what is the thing you want to go in there and you want to leave no doubt about when you're done?
I think 40 is, if not the most crucial thing, especially in my position. And that 4.4 speed is super important because I think before the season, they had me project out like a 4.65 or like 4.55. So, like, once again, if I'm able to show that I'm pretty fast, I think.
Well, you play super fast too, which is important.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I tried to.
Real quick, who are some smaller, like, shiftier guys that you looked up to? Like, do you ever look up to, like, Woodhead? Do you ever look at, like, because Edelman was always the guy that I always gravitated towards, because that guy made some of the biggest plays in the Super Bowl. And I mean, you know, and listen, I think it's kind of a cool fraternity that you guys are in, because you know, you guys are the shiftier dudes. You're the dudes that are, you know, below the line that you can't see moving around. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, Dylan, isn't it funny how, like, he subconsciously did it? He just reeled off white names, white names. Like, you can't be Kamara.
You know what though?
Just white people.
I'm jealous. I don't got that speed. Okay,
you can't be Darren Sproles. You've got to be Danny Woodhead.
Listen, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Yeah, I know, right?
I love it, dude.
Eckler, Kamara. Yeah, I know.
I got a quick question for you, though. You have a pro day as well, though, correct?
Yes.
I was going to say, so I was going to say, in terms of leading up to the NFL Combine, of course, that's your main, you know, your focus right now. How do you now, you know, reset to now get ready for your pro day? Because I've dealt with a lot of athletes leading into the NFL Combine as well, and it's a different reset because there's almost a loading phase getting ready for the NFL Combine, and now you have to reset for your pro day, correct?
Yep. Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to have pro days at the end of March. So I got like 3 or 4 weeks before. Because I know some guys here, their pro days like March 8th and the combine's March 2nd. So, like, they got no reset button whatsoever. But my goal is combine, I kill it. Pro day, I do all that skill work, all my position work, interviews, all that stuff. And it's kind of just like a basic day for me. But once again, if I mess up something, like, sorry, what?
Is pro day at UNH, like somewhere you're comfortable, or is it somewhere close?
Well, we don't have a pro day at UNH, so we're doing it at Holy Cross.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
So the people at home,
brand new indoor facility.
So the people at home that are going to be about familiar with you in the upcoming draft, what are some things that you can tell the people at home to look forward to when they draft you? What's something that we're getting as a player? Because I'm a diehard Bears fan. I wore this hat for you today, and I watched your highlights. Listen, I would love to have you on the Bears because the Bears suck at punt return. We haven't had anybody since Devin Hester.
And adding to Brady's, is there a team?
It's a fact.
Is there a team that you would like to? Of course, I don't know. Right. You're in talks with teams, but is there a team that you would like to see yourself on?
I mean, to be honest, any team. I mean, really, at the end of the day, any team. I grew up a Steelers fan, but I mean, I'm here in Florida now, man, and I love the weather here, so I'll take that.
Hey, let me put it on the record to the Chiefs who are about to lose Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Dude, this kid is a Swiss Army knife. He's going to return punts for you.
Don't go to the
He's
Chiefs.
He's going to come out of the back.
Don't go to the Chiefs.
Don't go win, Dylan.
The Chiefs have won enough.
Hey, don't go win Super Bowls, Dylan. That's not what it's about.
Kid,
don't go win Super Bowls, Dylan.
Give the kid a chance, for God's sakes.
Come on now. Dude, where so now Ruckert's at home with the Jets. Where is it? Steelers? Is that like the hope? Would that be like the dream situation?
Listen, I will go anywhere once again. I mean, I now live in Florida now, so once again, like, I mean, I'll go anywhere. I've been in the cold for the past half a decade, so I mean, I'll go anywhere. To be honest with you. So, I mean, Chicago's cold, but hey, listen,
It's cold, but I'll tell you what.
You're made for it.
I'll tell you what. If you do really good in Chicago, they'll build you a bridge, bro.
Because they never win.
Literally with your name on it.
Hey, Dylan.
The Dylan Laube Bridge. And you know what? I'll take pictures on it.
Hey, Dylan, if you're going to go somewhere cold, you might as well win. If you're going to go to Chicago, you're going to be freezing and lose every week.
Hey, come on. Real quick, Dylan, can we show them? Can you hang for a couple more minutes? I want to show people at home some of your highlights.
Yeah, show those clips, man.
Yeah, let's go.
It would be cool to see him in a warm area, though.
Yeah,
no.
I made sure that last clip's on there for a reason too.
Look at this kid.
This is real time.
This is against an FBS school.
Dylan, don't worry about that 40 time.
We slowed this down so you guys can get a feel for what he's doing.
Right.
You know what was the best part of this clip? Dylan, I don't know if you know, but Delaware was celebrating a kid that got drafted the year before named Nasir Adderley, and you just spoiled the whole party.
I love it.
Like, this kid's getting interviewed about
man.
Delaware, and
I
Dylan's
watched the
running a
clip
kick like
after.
100 yards. Amazing.
Look at
no
you go,
right
dude.
there.
What is that feeling for the people at home? What is that feeling, Dylan?
I mean, the adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
and just like you're so like focused. It's just like you're dialed in, and it's like, I mean, that is the best feeling.
Ever.
I know like a lot like love like getting a sack or like a big tackle, man, but scoring a long touchdown, man, is unreal. It's probably the best.
And if
feeling
I'm
of
an
all time.
NFL scout and I watch this film, I've seen Dylan score 3 different ways. I've seen him rushing the football.
Yep.
I see him
Slot.
receiving the football.
Yep.
I see him returning kicks. Right. That's what I'm looking at. Just a Swiss Army knife.
Dylan,
There we go.
are you a trash talker? You talk trash to these guys, or are you more quiet on the field?
You know what?
From Long Island, of course.
So
I feel
back
like
in the
he's-
day, I was pretty quiet, but this year there's a couple teams, man, that love to talk shit, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Like, I'll give it right back to him.
There he is.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'll give
that's
it
Long Island.
right back to him.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I'm
Long
talking my
Island.
shit.
Hey,
I'm talking my shit a little bit.
I didn't spend a long time there, but I'm going to brace you for what you're going to hear. My first play, I was a gunner on the punt team,
Here
and
we
it was
go.
a double vice.
It's all about Manno. Jesus.
It was a double vice, and look, I had 2 brothers on me just talking about my race the whole time.
Wow.
So get ready for that. Get ready for that. You're going to
I
hear a
can't
lot.
wait.
I'm sure you hear it already. So as long as you're used to
Of course,
that.
all the time, man.
Hey, Dylan.
Actually, like,
yeah, go ahead.
no,
Buddy.
yeah, go on.
No, go ahead. Go. I want to hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
No. I was
gonna
going to
talk
say, man,
shit.
especially here, like, running fast, man, they're like, oh, damn, this kid can actually run. I'm like, wow, he has a
Kid
life?
can run,
Like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, dude.
Remember
I
the
didn't know he had a
Deion Sanders clip from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
This kid, Troy Apke,
yeah,
he's a
yeah,
white
yeah.
kid from Penn
The
State,
40?
and he ran a 40. And Deion Sanders goes,
Yeah, it's no
wow,
shit.
he's fast. And the other guy goes, what do you mean?
Yeah. That's funny because, like, remember back in the day, I don't know if you remember a guy that used to play for the Giants named Jason Sehorn.
Oh my
And he was
God.
the
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah,
white.
of course.
He was the only white cornerback, I think, ever, dude. And
well, they got the kid from Iowa coming out,
Travis
right?
Dej- yeah,
Oh,
Dejan.
yeah, oh, yeah,
First
that's
one.
right.
Dejan. He'll be
That's right.
he'll be a first round pick.
Yeah, he was the first
Yeah.
one.
I forgot about that kid. What if they want you to play cornerback? Are you going to be like, nah?
No, hell no, man. Screw that.
They had Edelman do some of that when he first came in. When
Yeah,
they
they
just
did.
they got light on
Really?
in the second.
Yeah,
half.
Belichick was also trying to cut him every
I
2
played
seconds.
Jammer before. I played Jammer. I played Gunner before. So
he
I'm
hurt
fast. I got
somebody
him.
really good. Like I think he hurt LaDainian Tomlinson or something, hitting him, Edelman. So it was like wound up being a big thing. Like this guy's a receiver. He
Good
hit you and
dog.
hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
You're probably
Yeah.
gonna have to join Will Compton's all white versus all black football team.
Yeah, God.
Yes, sir.
That was
Yes,
a whole
sir.
You're gonna
thing.
be in
You
the
can see it, see?
you're gonna be in the draft.
All right, if you had your pick, if you had your pick, if you had your pick right now, I know you said you don't care, you just want to get drafted. What would be the team that you want to get drafted by?
I mean, I feel like you want me to say the Bears. I mean,
I like
that.
It's a good. Hey, listen,
Yeah,
I'll
you're
take
For
you.
you, I'll take the Bears.
I'll take you to Gibson's if the Bears draft you, buddy. All right. Actually,
I'm
you take
in.
me to Gibson's.
I'm
You
in.
get the cash.
We'll celebrate that. Yeah, sure.
Well, hey, Dylan, it's been fantastic talking to you, man. We wish you the best of luck. I'm so glad that you and Chris
Appreciate it,
got to
guys.
hook up. And listen, now
Yeah,
you're a
man.
big part of our family here at the Mouthpiece. What is some things that you want to plug for people so they can find you on socials and they can watch your journey as you go along?
Yeah, my Twitter or X now is Dylan _Laube, Laube. My Instagram is Dylan Laube, just straight up, and that's really it. Yeah. So,
You got an Instagram?
oh man. Yeah, it's Dylan Laube, just
Okay.
no space, just it's just kind of
Right.
simple. Back there.
And dude, we need to have you come back after you crush the combine, and then when
Yeah,
you eventually
sure.
get
Yeah.
drafted, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
you're the man.
We're gonna
Oh, yeah,
throw you
man.
Chicago Bears after party, buddy.
Which is going to be
right,
weird
exactly.
when he's wearing a Chiefs
I'm
jersey.
ready.
Oh God! Hey, thank you, Dylan. Have a great
All right,
rest
guys,
of your
appreciate it.
week.
Cheers.
and,
Cheers.
we'll talk
Dylan,
to you
thank you
soon.
for your time, brother.
Later,
Thank you
Dylan.
guys. See you
Thank
guys.
you, brother.
What a nice
What a good kid.
Yeah, what a good kid.
Listen to us. We're just like the bunch of old uncles. What a nice kid.
What a good kid.
He's a good kid.
I'd take him to a barbecue.
Let's take you to a barbecue. Malik, what'd you think? You like the kid?
Oh yeah, I do. Like, I like him. I was watching his highlights. It's very Christian McCaffrey-esque. So I think like that like type of player is like, especially in like the way the NFL is now and play calling. I think it's very he'd be a good Swiss Army knife to throw in
Oh,
any
for
offense,
sure.
special teams, anything like that. Like
sure.
these kids are like now more athletes than they are like specialists. I feel like
He can throw the ball too.
Well, his whole Senior Bowl thing wasn't him running the ball, which is what you'd expect. It was him in space, beating linebackers on passing routes, and so I mean, I think his game plays really well for today's NFL.
Yeah,
I
he
think he's
can
gonna do
fly
well.
too. I heard. So
Yeah, he
can do everything.
There's guys like that. He plays faster than his 40. I mean, I don't even know what he's going to run. He's probably going to run a 4.4, but he plays faster than that.
What do you think the difference between him and Brock Bowers is?
Well, Brock Bowers is
It's Brock-
6'5".
yeah, he's a little bit bigger,
Tight
little taller,
end.
yeah.
He's Brock Bowers is another one. He's gonna be.
That kid's gonna be nasty. That kid goes in the first round.
I actually thought you guys might grab Brock Bowers.
I would love to grab
Trade
Brock Bowers.
back a little bit and
Give
grab
me,
Brock Bowers.
listen. Here's what I was thinking about it, since you asked.
The Bears.
I think
Go
all right, Malik,
Bears.
I want your opinion on this too. Here's what I think the Bears are going to do. All right, so let's just stick with football for 2 seconds, and we'll go into baseball. But here's what I think. I think the Bears keep Justin Fields. You trade that number 1 pick. You go get Marvin Harrison, and then you go pick up either Brock Bowers, or you go get a stud offensive lineman.
Well, how far back are you trading? Because you know Marvin's going to be gone early. You're going to
Yeah.
trade back to what, 2? To the Washington?
I think either 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think
You
so,
know, or
too.
the Patriots, because I know the Patriots are looking for a quarterback.
Yeah, I think you pair Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, and then Justin Fields, and you got some explosive athletes out there.
You know what's crazy too is I'm looking at this draft. There's so many good quarterbacks coming out of this.
ton.
Like Drake May is good, but I think the kid from Washington's even more of a stud. Penix.
Penix Jr.
Yeah.
Penix
He
Jr.
kinda
He's a
froze.
stud. He's a
He
stud.
on his leg during the national championship game.
He's a stud.
He was one of my favorites the whole year. I got to watch like 6 of his games because they played him on primetime because their team was so good.
Yeah.
The thing about him is he's got 2 ACLs and a shoulder history. Now he's 2 years off of those injuries.
Right.
So people might start to believe, all right, it was just he's over the injury problems. That's going to be what dictates where he goes in the draft. But you see a lot of these times in the draft, a certain position will have a run, and then a team that needs a quarterback is going to panic because they're all starting to go, and a team might reach for him early. I've seen J.J. McCarthy from Michigan now the last
I was
week or
just
two.
about to say that.
He was supposed to be like a 3rd or 4th, and now I'm seeing
like
him
a
like
10th.
now I'm seeing him in the first 2 rounds.
I don't get that though. Is it because he's a good game manager? I don't understand because he won the national championship game. The kid to me looks like who's coming out of last year's draft.
Will Levis, right?
kind of a
when
Will Levis
where
in a way.
Where he was projected in the
Yeah,
first, no
for
joke,
sure. Good
five,
call, right?
five,
Good call.
first 5 picks, and then he got drafted in the 2nd round.
For sure,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, for me, JJ McCartney didn't do anything for me in the college football season this year. It just didn't do anything for me. What about you?
He's your prototypical guy. He's big, he's strong, he can drive the ball down the field, he can extend a play.
Right.
And he's young. And he's shown he can win at a high level. And I think as a quarterback, that's what you want.
I
That's
think
enough to
too-
get you drafted high because in the league, every coach thinks they're the guy that can unlock this unworldly potential in you. So a team will, and you remember now, who was this coach in Michigan? He's now an NFL head coach too.
Right.
I don't think he goes there because Herbert's locked in, but I mean, he's going to be putting a good word in for this kid everywhere.
Herbert's not going anywhere, but I
Yeah.
think he's very moldable too. I think he's very easy to
Very
work
young,
with.
and he's been successful at every level. He's
Yeah.
lost 1 game from his first high school to his second high school to college. I think he's lost 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
Kid
well,
wins.
Shifting to baseball because spring training pitchers and catchers just went to camp, and then it looks like the rest of the players are coming very soon. But I was looking at this the other day. I was looking at a stat. We're looking at all these big contracts that just happened, and actually a lot of free agents are not signing any of the contracts right now. About, I would say, 90% of players that are free agents have not signed with new teams, which is not normal. That usually doesn't happen. Usually most of these guys already have teams and they're ready to go to camp. But I think right now what we're looking at is people are scared to pull the trigger on free agents, and they're going through farm league or they're going through the farm teams. But what they aren't scared to do is bring over players from Japan, or and also like Latin leagues. For instance, Ohtani get that 10-year, $700 million deal from the Dodgers, giving him the largest deal in Major League Baseball history. So I was looking at the analytics, and which is crazy to me. They said, do we have the graph, Malik? There it is. This is from 2015. Obviously, you're like, this is from 2015. That's so long ago. But that right now is not at, it says white is predominantly 60 and African-American is like 10. But now there's a graph that shows that the white players have gone down exponentially to about 30%, and it's gone up to Latino and Japanese players. And I give you also the Dodgers just signed the other Go ahead.
You want to take a crack at it? Or you
No,
want me to go?
I'm giving this to you.
Don't
Ray?
butcher it, Chris.
Take-
Yeah, no,
take
I'll
it
pass
away.
on that one.
Say the
I already
kids-
got a tough one.
Yeah.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Yeah, I mean, God,
Yeah.
what a name. But the
Yeah.
kid is a complete stud, too. So what's happening, I think, we're noticing with baseball is this. I'm going to bring this to you, Chris. Are we getting too comfortable as a culture with materialistic things to where now sports is kind of just like taking the back seat, and it's just sexier to have the jewelry, it's sexier to have the cars, to have the Instagram, to have the big X account where you have a bunch of followers? Are American League players getting lazier, and are foreign players chomping at the bit to play in the big show?
Well, first, you make an awesome point in recognizing that white American players are sort of coming, even black American players are coming
Right.
down, American players in general. Now, here's why I think that is. In America, immediately, the best athletes are brought off the baseball field and onto the basketball court or onto the football field. Now, they're pulled towards these faster-paced, fun sports because, I mean, that's what it is, right? It's faster-paced, it's more exciting. And here in America, I think baseball, of all the main sports, hockey, obviously, hockey's in a different category, but out of the three main sports, baseball does the worst job of marketing their players.
Right.
NBA stars and NFL stars, you know them. They're household names, household faces. In baseball, the best player is Mike Trout, and I know that kid can walk around New
Right.
York City.
And you also said Shohei Ohtani is like the number one in the world.
Yeah,
because but it's crazy because for me, I'm not a huge
Yeah.
baseball fan, but I
Right.
probably couldn't even pick him out of a lineup per se. Go
so
ahead.
a couple
Yeah.
things. Now, the Latin play, you think about where these guys are from and what life is like there. For Americans, be real, we're kind of coddled here.
Yep.
We're comfortable here. In these Latino countries, that's their way out. Like
Right.
these guys are playing baseball with milk carton gloves in dirt fields.
Totally.
And there's a bunch of things here. In America, to play to play football, to play hoops, right? I need 4 guys, 5 guys. We can go out to the park. You could be official quarterback. It could be me and Ray versus Malik and Christy, and we got a game.
Right.
Right? It'd be
know
probably
about Christy,
one-sided,
but
but
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Then if we're hooping, we go play 2s or 1s. Baseball, you need a big group of guys.
Yep.
Kids aren't going outside like they used to. I think that's a big part of it. And then the influx of Japanese players. Why is that? Now, Japanese baseball had what's called a reserve clause for 20 years longer than American baseball did. And what that means is they had no free agency.
Yeah.
So in Japanese baseball, like old American baseball, when a team drafted you, they owned your rights until you were done playing. This stopped in Major League Baseball about 30 years ago, but recently just stopped in Japanese baseball. So that's why you see more
You've seen
people
all these guys coming over here, yeah.
Because finally they're able to come here. So that's a huge thing that's contributing to the Japanese population going up, and they're having success.
Yeah.
So look, it's
Also-
a bunch of contributing factors.
Yeah, and also if you see the Latino players that are coming over here too, they're not like just some random plug and play players. These guys are like actual legit studs that are getting big contracts.
Right. And think about, yeah, absolutely. They've thrived over here. So we keep going back there looking for more talent. And then go back to what I was saying, like baseball's their way out. You have players from Cuba who literally, they'll jump on a raft and try to make it across here and flee where they're from and their families because it really is, man.
communist
It's a matter of survival. It's a matter of giving yourself a better life. Like, we don't know the first thing about that here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it really is their way out.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
so-
yes, there are also a lot of them are fleeing communism as well too. Because last time I checked, that's not a lot of fun to deal with, right? Ray, go ahead.
No.
What do you
I was going to say,
Ray?
too, though, baseball's also a business, too. So
Right.
I feel like if they're able to market these people correctly, like you said, in other organizations that do emulate their players, I feel like you're bringing over another demographic and more eyes on the sport from different locations across the world.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of different organizations do that really well. And I think if baseball really doubled down on that, I feel like we could see a lot of, I mean, you could already see it right now, but, bring over other markets to, MLB.
Yeah, the last guy that got the big contract, like Shohei, was Giancarlo Stanton.
Right.
And for the Yankees, he's DH, right fielder. He needs to have a sexy season. Otherwise, I think he might be toast too. Don't you think?
Yeah, he's got a lot of years left on his deal, so somehow, some way, he's going to get paid. But yeah, his big body. They say he changed his build. Coming into this year, I think he's been real muscle bound the last couple years.
Yep.
That leads to a lot of soft tissue injuries when you're doing something as explosive as this guy's able to swing.
Right.
So he tried to lean out a little bit, make himself more limber, and the early feedback has been good, but obviously they're not in camp yet, so we'll find out.
Yeah, he's got a 4-year, $98 million left on his contract.
And he's been
$98 million.
And his contract's over 300, I think, total. He's just down towards the back end of it.
I don't know, man. One of my favorite players that came over from from the Cubs, obviously, but now he's with the Tigers, is Javi Baez, who needs to have a big season this year too. I feel bad because the guy was electric at one point, and now he's not so great. But these are just guys that we're going to be keeping an eye on for spring training baseball, and as baseball heats up, we'll have more baseball talk for you guys. But moving on, let's talk about that piece of shit all-star game, huh?
The best game ever.
What a
the
disaster.
one you've been waiting for.
Why? Yeah,
Wow.
100%. Why do we still
do we
need
have a
this?
booing one?
But I really want to break this down because I missed the days. Malik, can you pull up the days when Jordan played against Shaq and Kobe? Back in I don't know.
That as my clip too.
It's just so much. Everything was just so much better. Like just watch.
You can just play my clip for the.
Yeah, just
do
play,
we care?
yeah, go ahead, play the
Yeah,
clip.
play it.
It's just so
Shaq
much better.
dunking.
Shaq dunking over David Robinson.
Yeah.
Like even the jerseys were sick back then. You know what I mean? And they all they all took it serious too. They all took it serious. It was
they
great.
wanted to compete against each other. They didn't care about injuries or.
Yeah, and then you're watching this garbage now. I mean, yeah, look at this Jordan back in the day going against Kobe. Yeah, there's Jordan.
Just piecing
But Jordan literally, he went out there to dominate. And that's the way it should be. Even like the three-point competition this year was garbage too. And I don't mean to be so negative on the All-Star game, but I mean, what is the point of doing any of this if it's not going to be like this anymore? Well, can you play any new highlights from the All-Star game 2024? Because it was disappointing. They had to light up the court because no one's watching this trash. So like, how can we get people like Joe Schmo, me and Ray or whoever to watch this game? We have to light the court up for the 3-point game, for the celebrity All-Star game. Obviously, they didn't do it for the regular game, which they probably should have.
Yeah, they paid the audience.
Look at LeBron just walking around.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Look at
Steph Curry smoking a cigarette.
I think it falls back to a sense of entitlement. Like these guys
Totally.
got money. In the old days, the players were so concerned about the respect of their peers and stuff like that. They went out there to make a point.
Yeah, but dude, I've seen better pickup games at Lifetime.
Yeah, man, it's brutal. It's brutal. You
For
won't
real.
see,
Malik,
you
don't
won't
you know
see
what
a
I'm saying?
defensive clip on this.
LA Fitness is more.
You won't see a
competitive.
defensive
Like,
clip
come on.
on this reel. That's for certain.
Yeah, I mean,
But if you look at the last time the All-Star game did great numbers and got some real buzz about it, it was when they were
What was
playing hard.
that? What'd you say, Malik?
Yeah, I mean, I understand like these players, they don't want to like get hurt and everything, but like it's still like part of under the contract. They're getting paid for the season, still getting paid for the game. So like I would appreciate a little more effort. Like you don't have to treat it like the NBA
Yeah,
finals.
but it's such a slap in the face to us too because I love basketball. I love it, right?
Can I touch on this real quick?
Please, touch all of it.
There was legitimate live odds. You could have bet on this game with real money.
Sick.
Imagine if you bet on a team and you're just watching them go,
Yeah.
and then walking away, they're all dabbing each other, smiling, laughing. I'd be having a heart attack
Totally.
if I bet on a team. There was live odds to bet on this game.
Yeah.
And nothing was taken serious. That's insane.
I think a lot of it goes back to like Adam Silver has kind of let the players really run this league the last half decade or so, and it's to the point where anytime any of these superstars get any pushback, you don't make any progress anymore because you've given them the keys to the kingdom. What I think is going to happen is the best players on the planet, the guys who command respect. If LeBron goes out there and busts his ass, and KD goes out there and busts his ass in this game, Giannis, and they say, guys, we're gonna do this right this year. That's the only way it changes. You can't have a guy like.
I disagree. I think the only way this changes is if you make them say. You get home court advantage for the finals.
No, that's impossible.
But how is that impossible?
Because then you've got a team like the Celtics who have a legit chance, and they have to rely upon an Indiana
for the
Pacer.
Magic?
No, that's not fair though.
How is that? But that's
offer
for me.
cash
But that's the
prize.
only way I
If
can think of is that how else are you going to get
But
these?
how do you
these guys?
how do you
cash
entice a
incentive,
guy?
like the
how do you
All-Star
incentives?
team that wins?
Wait, go ahead, Malik. What are you saying?
Some cash incentive, like the All-Star team that wins, everybody on the team gets like $50,000.
I know, but
Do you hear what you
then,
just said?
I know, but then we're giving these guys
Brandon
incentives
Clark.
again. We have to give you incentives to fucking play basketball.
But think how crazy this is. Malik just said if they win, they get $50,000. These
Or
guys
like
get fined
$100,000,
$200,000
anything.
for talking about the refs. The amount of money you'd have to give these guys to incentivize them to try on 3 days off in Las Vegas. It's a broken system. It has to be fixed, and it all comes back to where, like I said, they started to give the The prisoners, they run the asylum now. That I'm telling you, I think it needs to be where they sit down with, because whether we like him or not, we don't like LeBron. But these young players grew up idolizing LeBron.
That's all they know. And I don't see, here's the thing when it comes back to LeBron, and great point, is LeBron didn't really show them, yes, he shows work ethic, but also he shows what you get if you the accolades and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just don't think LeBron was that much of a great role model where Jordan showed Kobe how to play. Kobe showed these young guys how to play. And I think LeBron didn't show that for these guys. And that's where I think that's where we're at now in terms of this product.
Well, here's what it is. It's the things that we cared about when we were young, Jordan showed Kobe. The things that players care about now, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's 20 and he's going to start in the All-Star game for the next 10, 15 years.
Stud.
These young guys care about their brands. They care about their Twitters. They care about their chicks. And
that's all they care about.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's what they've been shown. If some old vet who they respect showed them, like I remember Julius Randle. The guy still plays like an old school player because why? Who was his vet when he first got to the Lakers? It was Kobe.
Yeah.
He said, anytime I got to a city, Kobe pulled me off the bus, took me right to a gym before I went to the hotel, and I live by that still. And Julius Randle continues to ascend.
I believe Mike Tyson said it best. A lot
Sure.
of these athletes nowadays have become businessmen before athletes.
Yeah, for
Back
sure.
in the day, they were athletes before businessmen.
And if you look at the guys who really thrive in a business sense, it's the guys who do the old school stuff, right?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want Michael Jordan's brand? Who wouldn't want Kobe
course.
Bryant's brand?
Yeah.
And
Of
these
course,
are the
but
guys
when
who
you
are
wanna
getting
be-
there
yeah,
on
I
those
know.
old school grind values.
But I think I want to be my own brand. Moving on, let's show some of the highlights. I thought this was kind of cool. Steph Curry showing why he's the best at what he does. Can we show that, Malik? Just playing or going against
Guy
your girl.
Fieri in the background. Shout out.
See, this is the illuminated court. Look at this court.
I thought the court was sick. I got to
I
be
thought it
honest.
was kind of cool.
I thought it
I
was
would like
sick.
them to play a game
They
like
showed
that. That'd be
highlights
cool.
on the court and
I
stuff.
don't see why
I thought it was
not.
cool.
I don't see why not. It's like I like them taking a chance on this.
Dude, these
Steph
guys.
showing why he does what he does and he cooks. Steph for Sabrina. I thought it was adorable. Great little.
Hey,
great
I'm
little
gonna be real.
Sabrina's sweating
Hey,
right
look,
now.
I'm going to be honest, man.
No, he went after her.
Well, first of all, Sabrina showed out.
She did.
She hit 26 threes from
Manno,
the NBA
at
line.
one point, I legit thought maybe Steph might be in trouble.
And she didn't do what it was expected, where she shot from the female three-point line. She took it upon herself to shoot from the men's line.
Right.
And when she put up 26, I know Steph probably knew he was going to do it, but three-quarters of that building was like, oh, this is real now. And
Yeah.
I think that's something they do going forward. I think they probably bring another girl in next year, maybe bring another male sniper in, and make a thing out of it, as long as the girls
I
aren't
don't know,
getting
man.
crushed.
I mean, dude, Steph shows you why he is the best at what he does. Even when he was showing that he shot from the tunnel and he threw it in from the tunnel. Remember we showed that last week. I mean, the guy's just a machine. He knows how to shoot the three, and he's incredible.
And he's the best to ever do it. Like, what does she do against the guys in the real three-point? Steph wasn't in the three-point contest this year. You throw her into the regular three-point contest with mortals.
Yeah, oh yeah,
What does
for
she
sure.
do? She might win.
One thing I was disappointed in watching Jaylen Brown in the dunk contest. Jesus, my God, he had no business being out there at all. But Mac McClung shows again why he is the best at what he does. The kid is a stud when it comes to dunking the basketball. Let's show just a little bit of highlight of this kid. The kid's 6 foot, but his vertical is ridiculous.
Dylan Laube. No, I'm just kidding.
It really is, yeah. Give it for our boy Dylan Laube in the dunk contest. Jaylen Brown, dude, did not ball out at all. It was disappointing as all hell.
The only good thing
Look
about
at that kid.
The only good thing
He looks
about
like
Jaylen
Frodo
Brown,
Baggins with a basketball.
what a lot of the NBA players do now is they kind of opt out of these things because they don't want to lose to a kid like Mac McClung who can't even make it in the league. But good on Jaylen Brown for being the highest paid player in the league and an actual all-star who took it upon himself to compete. When's the last time you remember a real NBA all-star in the dunk contest? It's Jacob Toppin this year. It's Mac McClung this year.
Toppin's brother.
It's guys who aren't on NBA rosters.
But I think that's where we're headed to, man. Nowadays, we're watching influencers take over and the stuff that we used to love as a kid. Like watching Jordan dunk from the free throw line, that
Amazing.
shit's gone.
But
It's
if you look
over.
at those
It's over.
dunks now, I heard like NBA vets breaking them down.
Yeah.
If you watch the dunks that won the contest in like '97, they stink.
Yo,
Like they're boring.
I don't know if I don't know if we can pull this up or if we have time. We don't. But Deion Sanders, was it Deion Sanders? Malik, did you show me this highlight
cool.
back in the day when they were like in their prime? It was Deion, Barry, and all these guys were just balling out. They were in a slam dunk charity thing.
Oh yeah,
And-
the All-Star
and-
Classic.
and,
it was
I
Wayne
think-
Gretzky was playing in that game
Yeah,
as well.
and he balled out too.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if we can pull that up, but it's so crazy because these guys, it shows how freak athletes these guys were back in the day. to where I think Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders dunked from the free throw line better than Jordan did. And this is an actual highlight. Have you seen this, Ray?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean,
You can't beat it now.
no, but
nowadays.
also, you know what's even crazier is Wayne Gretzky, I think, won that dunk competition. He balled out. Wayne Gretzky, the white kid that plays hockey. I mean,
this is the stuff we want to see.
This is all white boy episode.
Yeah, right.
All right, yeah, I found a clip. This is Barry
dunk, it's a
Sanders.
Watch this.
layup.
Here we go. Watch
5'8"
this.
Barry Sanders.
Watch this shit.
Dunking the ball.
Look at Barry.
This is
He's 5'8".
Yeah.
Yo.
Double
Barry
pump.
Sanders 5'8"
Dunk.
too, which is crazy.
Yeah. This is not an NBA size guy.
No.
This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, this is when they just went from
the
black and
double
white TV too.
That's something you can go on for an hour
Yo.
about too. Who are the better athletes, NBA players or MLB? I mean, NBA or NFL? That's a cool
I
one
don't
to
know.
talk about.
Moving on. I thought Charles Barkley was on fire. Malik, you want to tee this one up? Charles Barkley was on fire, and this is just one of the funnier clips that I saw. Him and Draymond Green just going back at it. They're just giving each other shit back and forth, and it's so great. This is Chuck being Chuck, and this is why you don't fuck with Chuck.
The 17 degrees.
Hey, Reggie.
Yes.
If you had a chance of being cold or being around a bunch of homeless crooks in San Francisco, would you?
You're not welcome. They're not letting you in. You're not welcome.
We love San Francisco.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
You can't even walk around down there.
Yes, you can walk around.
Yeah, with a bulletproof bag.
You live in Philadelphia, Chuck.
I live in Arizona.
microphone that says coffee.
That's so
honestly
great.
expected though with Draymond Green.
Yo, that's why you don't mess with Chuck, dude. Chuck's the best trash talker. Although Draymond's pretty good too, but
They should get in a fist fight. That would have been a good one.
yeah, dude, I'll watch that
Who has
for
more
sure.
fist fight highlights?
I think Draymond takes that now. But back in the day, Chuck all day.
Yeah.
Leaving on this with the All-Star Game, thank God. I just wanted to show exactly what the All-Star Game entails. Luka is displaying what this is kind of just in a whole bow of what this All-Star Game was. Luka just showing what is this? This is the actual game. It's like you double tapped X on 2K.
This is the actual
Is what it
game.
looked like. Looks like a glitch in the game. What are we shooting? What are we
Yeah,
shooting?
there's no effort in this game.
No, and there
Everybody's
was tons
walking,
of time left in the
nobody's
game,
crashing
too.
The board.
I still can't get over that there was legit betting on this.
I don't know.
You could bet real money on that game. That was a complete joke.
Straight trash. Anyways, moving on to our favorite segment of the show, the good, the bad, and do we care? My good for the weekend was the PGA Tour. I mean, I didn't watch the actual PGA Tour, but I thought this clip was really hilarious. The guy had to use the bathroom and just wasn't feeling top notch, but he had to let everybody know that, you know, he's there for his tee time. He almost missed his tee time because he had some bad in and out. He's running like he still has to go.
Is hustling. I mean, high-talented to
We've
the
all
first
been there
tee
before,
because his
though.
tee time
One
is
way or
moments
Yeah,
away.
dude, I had a tropical
Good
smoothie
one.
once with a breakfast burrito. Don't recommend it. Don't recommend it.
I feel like as an athlete too, maybe Chris, you have a similar
Tom Kim
experience when
is
you're about to. You're amping and
hustling. I
prepping
mean,
yourself
high
for something
talented
so
to the
big, and all of a
first
sudden
tee.
just hits you.
His
Go,
tee time
wait,
is
should I go to the
moments away.
bathroom or not? And
Yeah.
it's like in your head, like, should I go
is
now
a-
or just say, hold it?
It is
it's
a
so
terrible
weird.
feeling.
It's a horrible
It's a
feeling.
terrible feeling because then you feel like you. I guess golf might be a little different. Like my sport, I got to be light and be able to run around.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Maybe on a golf course, I could deal with a little something sitting in there for a while. But
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know.
No, yeah.
I'm gonna get hit. I'm gonna run around
Yeah.
like crazy. I have a routine before the game, and we're gonna make sure all that goes away.
That's like your boy Muhammad eating Chipotle before the game.
Yeah,
There's
Mo's a-
no
he's a man.
way I'm eating Chipotle before I have to
Second
get in.
half hits.
For
Yep, for
sure. Chris, what do you got? What do you got for
All
your
right, my, the
good?
good. Brittany and Patrick Mahomes made their way out to the Children's Hospital
That
to
was
see
cool.
all the kids in Kansas City. Thankfully, the last of the children were released yesterday. But awesome job by you two to make time to get out there after the season's over. You guys probably had a vacation booked or something to go away, and they found a way to get there and kind of give back to these kids who going through something real miserable. So good on
I
you
love
guys.
that. Where's yeah? I heard his brother did some good stuff too. Jackson did some good stuff. He helped a little kid that couldn't find his
Yeah,
family during the
for sure.
parade. I was shocked by that. Or maybe the kid was helping him find his family. So who knows?
Yeah, he's trying to clean up the Mahomes name. He has
Oh
to do it.
yeah, yeah.
We're doing something right.
Well, Pat's never smeared any dirt on the Mahomes name. It's all these knuckleheads he can't really trade in either. They're not like friends.
Makes for a good
where
story,
you can
though.
just-
You think Pat was in there like, get out there, go save somebody?
Yeah.
He's like, I got nothing something to live
Go
for.
grab a kid. What do you have, Ray? What's your good? Was your good the thing?
So listen, as athletes too, and I think baseball, they deal with a lot of cramps. I just feel like Minonori Kawasaki, I said it right, Chris.
Perfect. That was perfect. Well done.
He has some good strategy for any people, before or even during the game, can utilize. And I think he has some great insight for us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Being good.
So what happened to you?
Huh?
What happened?
Just cramp.
What?
Just a cramp?
Oh, just cramp.
You told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better?
Bananas. Monkeys never craps.
Monkeys
monkey never crap.
That's amazing.
Because a monkey every day bananas.
He's right.
Yeah, it's a fact.
So how many did you have today?
3 hours.
And how many monkeys has he spoken
no
to?
more-
Like, how does
no
he
more
know if a
cramp for
monkey
you.
cramps or not?
I need 3 banana because monkey never claps.
You know, some guy in the locker room told him, like, we're going to tell him to say this. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Monkey never cramps.
I mean, he's got a point. I've never seen a monkey cramp before, so
Yeah.
he's onto something.
Confucius says
Minonori
monkey never
Kawasaki.
cramps. That's a fact. With our bad with the UFC fights, which was really bad because Volkanovski lost, and I bet on it.
Volkanovski's last name starts with a V. I'm just letting you know.
Whatever. I had too much vault. Too much vault. And I'm gonna get hit on the comments. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Mark Zuckerberg was in his camp, and I just thought it was funny because he looks like a drone. He literally looks like AI. Watch his interactions here. Hi. Okay.
You mean they're like, hey, can we grab Volk's clothes?
He doesn't even know how to dance to the music that's on in the background. Look at him, just giving it.
How often do you think that guy's amongst civilians? Like,
Zero.
very rarely,
Also,
right?
notice how none of them trusted Mark with it. Mark was the nearest one to him. They said, "Nah, you're good."
And that guy's proof that having like $10 billion doesn't make you cool, right? Like, oh my gosh, what a fish out of water.
Yeah, you can't buy cool. But,
looks so out of
He
place and
probably
uncomfortable.
paid Volk, be like, "Hey, I'll give you a couple mil if I could walk out with
he
you."
can buy a bunker in Hawaii, though.
Volk doesn't seem like Zuckerberg doesn't seem like a Dana White type of guy either, right? He doesn't seem like they would vibe
No,
real
but
well.
from what I understand, he's actually not bad at MMA.
Yes.
At jiu-jitsu, he's
Yes.
been practicing jiu-jitsu for the past couple years, and he's fell in love with it, which is hence why they brought up the Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg fight with Dana White trying to facilitate that. I would love to see it, but
Seriously, you would?
it would be funny.
Good for you, Zuck. What do you have, Chris, for your good?
All right,
I'm sorry, for your bad.
My
for your
bad. We're going to keep it with UFC. And the UFC 300 main event announcement, Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira. Now, Dana White didn't even announce this one on the broadcast because I think he knew that the backlash he would get. If you look at 100, look at 200, the cards were loaded. I mean, you had Brock Lesnar, George St. Pierre, DC. You had the Count, Michael Bisping on these shows. Shout Michael Bisping.
Yep.
TJ Dillashaw was on the undercard of 100 and 200.
I saw that. I remember that. God, I missed that.
And you're
those
getting
days.
headliners now in Jamal Hill, he's a good fighter, but
Yeah.
most UFC fans could be in an elevator with this guy and not know him. Just not a pay-per-view. These guys aren't just pay-per-view movers.
You nailed it. I've actually been with Jamal Hill several times out at the club and the elevator.
People
and
don't
I
know.
had a double take and go,
Right?
Jamal Hill. There was one time where I was driving back, funny story, in North Carolina. We were at the UFC fights. I'm driving back to the Fighters Hotel, and I pull up, and not to blow him up, but I see Jamal Hill arguing with the girl outside at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I had a double take. I was like, is that Jamal Hill? I go, what is he doing? He's at the time a UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. I'm like,
Breaking.
what is he
Jamal Hill
doing?
loses UFC main event.
Yeah. Fighting with his girl by the car.
But honestly, I don't understand why why that was the biggest hype. I know that a lot of fights fell through, but unfortunately,
Ray,
we're stuck with this.
Are we locked into that, or is there any feasible way anything else comes down the
Yeah,
pipe?
there's nothing you can do to change it.
Unfortunately, that was announced as the main event, so they're locked in for the main event. The only way that there could be something is maybe a fighter. I know they were working on GSP. We had Khabib. There was talks with Brock Lesnar. There were so many different plays. Even a Ronda Rousey was part of the talks that could have been a comeback, and unfortunately, I feel like a lot of things fell through. I think Khamzat Chimaev was going to be in talks, but with his visa situation, he wasn't able to cross over to the U.S. So we're unfortunately, and I'm not saying unfortunately, it's going to be a great fight, guys. All the fight fans are going to be great, but we're stuck with this.
In 2 seconds, can I ask you? Dana White said Leon Edwards accepted 3 fights. Why doesn't Leon Edwards have a fight?
Leon Edwards accepted all the fights. Unfortunately, no one wants to see Bilal. You have Khamzat issues with his visa, and who else is going to fight him? They were trying to possibly bring in Khabib. didn't work out.
What about our boy Linton? Did it bring him out?
Yeah, Linton, go fight these guys.
Let's get Linton. All right, leave me on this for our Do We Care? Do We Care? Let's just end on this real quick. The New York Dance Squad. I don't know why we need this or what this is for, but this went viral, and it's not a good look for the New York Police Department. Oh my God. Listen, I have nothing. There's nothing wrong with women wanting to.
How do they pass police officers? How do they pass the physical exam?
Police officers?
What is this? Why? What is the point of this? I mean, listen, I don't get it. I don't understand what this is. The one on the left doesn't even know that she totally missed a whole dance move.
Nah, she's just not getting up if she goes down, bro. That's why she
did. We not rehearse this, girls?
Do you remember the Tyson's Punch Out where you knock down King Hippo and he doesn't get back up? Like This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. There's 4-year-olds that are way better than this. The one in the middle, 24, she's feeling it. That's the Kobe of the whole group. Are they police officers?
What? Yeah.
Or they're just like the mascots?
No, they're police officers. They get to put uniforms on and go right back out.
Imagine having to go into a building with one of them backing you up and being like, my life is in your hands, 28.
Turn this off. Turn this off. I can't do it. Oh
they're
my
still wearing
God.
the jerseys.
Oh, my God.
I feel real safe.
Dude.
28, follow me in.
Who are they? Yeah. Who are they chasing down?
Cover me, 28.
Besides McDonald's. All right, I'm Dick. I'm a dick. Screw it. I don't care. Who cares? I don't care. All right, Chris, what do you got? What do you have?
My Do We Care is the NHL Stadium Series, and we have to care about it. It was an incredible atmosphere. The Rangers and the Islanders played. The Devils and the Flyers played, all where the Jets and Giants play. We have a clip from it. Mika Zibanejad ties the game late. What a cool atmosphere.
Yeah, it is such a great atmosphere. The only problem I have with it is you can't see where the damn puck goes.
60,000 people or 70,000 people. Full to the stadium was packed.
That is
beautiful
awesome.
Day.
Yeah,
it was
that's
amazing.
sick.
And let's get some more attention on hockey, man. These guys are great athletes. You had some NFL guys down ice side shocked at how fast they were playing.
We're going to cover a lot more hockey just because I feel like hockey doesn't get the love that it deserves. But I agree. Those stadium series are awesome. The only hard part I have is trying to figure out where the damn puck is.
What's something crazy you say that is the game had a 30-minute delay because there was a glare a glare effect, like off the ice, because it was such a beautiful day.
Interesting.
Yes, I had to push the game start back 30 minutes.
I love it. Ray, what's yours? Do we care?
I was going to say,
take us home.
We already touched up on the All-Star. I was going to say, if you want to bring up the Bisbing. So getting back to the UFC, as they were ending the televised pay-per-view, Bisbing unfortunately didn't know that they were on air, and he kind of said something that I think ESPN probably isn't too happy about. So I'm sure he's facing something or possibly fine.
I didn't hear this. I can't wait.
So we'll see. This was televised live, and this was off air going in. So it's actually really funny, and this is classic Bisbing moment.
Yeah, I mean the guy's always never not been shy about shooting his mouth off. That's for sure.
He doesn't give a shit.
Here we go.
Well, that's not okay.
Oh, that's the audio
of the hockey game.
Of the hockey game. I was like, Bisbee looks confused.
He's screwed.
I was like, was he at the hockey? Was he at the hockey game too?
Was,
Damn, here we go.
That was the end of it, but.
What a guy, what a night. UFC 298, Anaheim, California. Certainly one for the books.
So he thinks he's off air right now?
What a guy. That's fucking gay.
Well, there you have it. Bisbee taking us home. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. I've been your host, Brady Matthews. Guys, do you have any parting words for the people at home? Chris?
Nothing, man. Manno Steel on Instagram, Manno Steel 17 on Twitter. Go buy the shirts.
Nice. Ray, what do you got for us?
Yeah, you can follow me at Ray Sherwood 1. I'm excited for the fights. We have the UFC fights in Mexico City as well as Karate Combat, so I'm excited for this weekend.
I can't wait for that. Malik, anything for the people at home that you want to leave them with?
I mean, other than that, follow me on Instagram. It's me, Malik. Go to vtmerch.com. We still got a sale going on. We're trying to sell all this merch, get it all off the markets, get it off all our backs.
I love it.
So go ahead, get it. And also, don't forget to drink you a Vault.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to our show at Valuetainment Sports. Click on the Mouthpiece. We've got new reels, stories, things with Ray, things with Chris. We're always moving and shaking when it comes to the sports world, so please tell your friends, let them know. That's been our show, and we'll see you Friday. And also give it up for our boy Dylan Laube that came in last minute. That's been fantastic. Guys, thank you so much. I've been Brady Matthews. See you Friday.